It's time for Real Talk with Brian and Dan, the weekly talk radio show dedicated to discussing important real estate topics, plus insight into the local community. With a combined experience of over 50 years as local real estate brokers from the Eastside real estate team at Keller Williams Realty Bellevue. Here's your hosts, Brian Levitt and Dan Edwards.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 KKNW. It is Wednesday, November 13th, my wife's birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa.
Happy birthday.
Yes, we are glad you're listening today. Today, we're also live streaming, as always, on YouTube, so check us out on 1150 KKNW on YouTube. If you'd like to listen to this or past episodes, you can find us anywhere podcasts are podcasted. Additionally, we have all of our videos on our website, the eastsiderealestateteam.com, or our YouTube channel, the Eastside Real Estate Team. So please do subscribe. We love more followers, and we hope that we are providing you with some fantastic value. Today, we've got a great show, as usual. We're very excited to talk to two great guests. We've got Jarrell Baton of B3 Personal Training and Greg Summers-Herville of Flying Gecko Productions. But before we get to our guests today, of course, it's time for some Real Talk. So last week, we had a good conversation about where are the best places to live in Seattle. And since we're the Eastside Real Estate Team, Brian, we should probably talk about the Eastside communities and kind of get in depth. So if we talk about the Eastside, Brian, kind of define for the listeners, what's the geography of the Eastside?
East of Lake Washington. Lake Washington is a big dividing line between Seattle and Seattle adjoining communities and the East Side and those adjoining communities.
Yeah, so essentially from Lake Washington all the way out to the Cascades, right? North Bend out there.
Yep.
And then from a north-south perspective, we kind of go up to Bothell.
Yeah, Bothell. I mean, often I'm up, Everett, Marysville. I mean, you go where the deals are, Lake Stevens. So I think that's still considered East Side.
And then down south to probably Kent, Covington, maybe Auburn.
Yep.
But basically, you draw a half circle from Lake Washington from those north and south communities.
Right.
And you get there. So what makes the East Side so unique?
I think a lot of it is a little more casual lifestyle. Schools, public safety, I think those are the big draws.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that last
bigger
week.
Lots. If people want a bigger lot, they're more prevalent on the east side, and typically newer homes. There aren't terribly very many older homes. If you like the old homes, although I live in a turn of the last century or previous century
farm
home.
property, right?
Yeah. But that's the exception on the east side.
So I think that's kind of the unique proposition of the East Side community.
Yep.
So we'll kind of break it down a little bit from north to south. So first off, kind of talk about Bothell.
Bothell is on the north end there and characterized by quiet, friendly neighborhoods, North Shore schools, terrific schools, median price range about $650, so pretty affordable. You can get a nice... for $650, you can buy a pretty decent-sized home. So a lot of families are drawn there.
Recently, they revitalized the downtown area of Bothell.
Beautiful, yeah.
They've got a McMenamins down there. They've got a, which is a great meeting place, right? They've got like 4 or 5 different restaurants and bars in the McMenamins there.
And I got people looking to move to Bothell because of that and the walkability.
Yes.
There's the University of Washington campus there.
That's right, Bothell.
And the homes surrounding that, there's very walkable to the downtown area.
Yeah, and Bothell's spread out. It's not just that downtown area, but as you go across the 405, you get into more of a neighborhood kind of area.
The 405? Yeah, give me a break. You're not from Southern California.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Give you a hard time. From 405. So proceeding to the southeast, we have Woodinville. And Woodinville's a little more rural still. It's characterized by a pretty low-key lifestyle, good shopping. They've got, some, and Molbach's.
Wine country, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's, I forget how many, a ton of wineries have their tasting rooms there. So that's a big-time weekend go-to spot.
What's the median price up there?
Median price, $840,000.
Okay.
I think something, too, you're typically looking at larger lots. So if you want house on an acre, that's a good place to find it.
Yeah, it would be less compact, less of the strip neighborhoods, the kind of suburbia for Woodinville. All right.
So going south, Kirkland. Kirkland is on Lake Washington, and it's a little bit older in nature. The west of Market area is one of the most desirable areas. Market Street is a dividing line between
west of Market and east of Market.
Yeah, exactly. And Old Kirkland. Old Kirkland is east of Market. And then
Okay.
to the south of that is Houghton, which is one of the older neighborhoods up on the hillside overlooking the lake. So beautiful area there.
I would say probably one of the most diverse in property styles, because you've got up north near
Right.
Bothell is the Kirkland Finn Hill,
Right.
So you've got 1970s.
Oh yeah. In fact,
And-
I want to touch on Finn Hill,
Yeah.
Juanita. You know,
Mhm.
they are some of the best values out there. Most of that is Lake Washington School District. To the north side is North Shore
Right.
Schools.
Right.
So excellent schools, and convenient. I think one of the best buys around is that Juanita Finn Hill area.
Yeah, and it's
So-
interesting because the median home price in Kirkland's $775, and I think it represents a split between the two communities. And
Right.
what I mean by that is, Old Kirkland is turn of the century homes, downtown Kirkland,
Right.
and condos. And then you get up north, you've got 1960s and 70s.
Right.
So it's got a real diverse mix of property styles and neighborhood styles.
Well, and on that Lake Washington Boulevard along the lake there, beautiful condos.
Oh, man.
And heading up the hill, moving into single-family homes.
if you like going for walks during sunset times
Yep.
and seasons, that Lake Washington Trail off Kirkland
beat
is fantastic.
Yep.
All
and
right.
then east of that is Redmond.
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 Microsoft land.
Yeah, Microsoft land. In fact, one of my pet peeves is all the listings like located Microsoft, granite counters, and it's like, oh, give me a break.
Like the feature is
Yeah, the
located near
features. It's Microsoft.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, come on. But Redmond, the older neighborhood there, you'd look at Rose Hill. And
Okay.
Rose Hill is really terrific because it's terrific location and a lot of smaller homes. So in terms of Redmond, pretty affordable. You don't need a big home. You want a nice Rambler. That's a great place to look.
And it's pretty central, right? Because
Very
from
central.
there you can
Yep.
get to the 405.
Yep. The 405, yeah. 842,000 median price
Yeah.
in Redmond. So, Dan, what's next on your list?
So I was going to say, just to be, Redmond kind of spans from Kirkland, and then you go east, and you actually go across the downtown Redmond
Right.
and over to Education Hill
Right,
and,
Ed
and
Hill.
stuff like that. It's pretty wide and split up, and
Right.
the downtown Redmond area, they've done a lot of new,
a lot
actually,
of redevelopment there.
Used to have two one-way streets. Now it's
Yep.
multi-way, and it's actually created a really nice downtown area.
Yeah, in
for
the Redmond Town Center.
Mhm.
We got that as well. So,
All right, so
there you
then
go.
of course there's the granddaddy, the big guy, the Bellevue.
Bellevue.
So that's
Right.
kind of like the epicenter. And when folks are looking at the east side, Bellevue is probably the most popular and populous area,
Right.
and probably the largest footprint
Yeah.
geography-wise, because that spans from where Redmond and Kirkland end all the way across, 520 down
Right.
to I-90, and then a little bit further south of I-90. So if you're looking at a map and you're seeing that space, there's so many different styles of communities. And the downtown Bellevue area, since I've been here, I moved to Seattle in 93, and I believe now, given the most recent activity in Seattle and Lake Union, but before that, before all that activity started, that downtown Bellevue area was growing and still is
Right.
at such a high rate of new buildings, high rises, Neiman
Oh, gosh.
Marcus, all the other
Squeezing a new house in any sliver of land they
Yeah.
can find. Yeah.
yeah, and the median home price in Bellevue is $888,000.
Yep. Yep.
There's a lot of different
So,
communities there.
and we're not really touching on this much, but West Bellevue, Clyde Hill, Medina, Hunts Point, some of the very pricey neighborhoods there.
Yeah, I don't think you can cross the threshold without being in the $2 million price range.
Oh, right, right.
In
Yep.
West Bellevue. So that would be, if you're looking at a downtown Bellevue and you go towards the water till you get to Mr. Gates' house, which is on Lake Washington there in Medina, then
Yep.
that is, $2 million and on up.
So, something I've never figured out, and you might shed some light on, Bellevue has terrific schools, but I rarely have a client seeking them out. They're looking for Lake Washington, North Shore. Do you have many clients ask for Bellevue schools?
I think they're looking for good schools, and
Yeah.
the big schools that kind of get called out are like Newport
High.
High,
Oh my,
and
yeah.
then and Bellevue High School. So
Yep.
Newport, Bellevue, but now Sammamish High School was now considered for Bellevue School District the flagship.
Right.
They have a great relationship with Microsoft, which is the campus is a stone's throw away. So buyers tend
Yeah.
to kind of look towards that, whether they have kids or not, because the property values do
Right.
follow the
Yep.
need for education and
There's
a better
a correlation.
quality education.
That's right.
If you're going to pay property tax, you want it going to a school that's going to benefit
Right.
the community in a better way.
Yep. Agreed.
All right, so we're heading now from Bellevue across Lake Sammamish to the city of Sammamish. And this is where Brian and I live.
Yeah, we're prejudiced on this
Yeah.
one.
We could probably talk a lot about it,
Yeah.
but we won't. But this is a bedroom community
Mhm.
at this point, which means for the listener, that's you drive in. right?
Right.
Nobody's going to Sammamish for any purpose except for to live there.
Right. And it's interesting, one of our other radio personalities, John Curley, talks about Sammamish is where you go to raise your kids and then leave.
Leave.
It's
right?
like, well, I don't know that I see that a lot, but it really has drawn a lot of families there, a lot of tech workers. The recent report of Sammamish as the highest median household income in the United States.
Yes.
Yeah, do the math on that.
So, interesting thing is I like to, one day we'll have this, is the North-South games, because in Sammamish, because of how the plateau is structured, that's what we call it up there, there's the 98074, that's the North.
Right.
And then the 98075, that's the South. So I think we should have the Sammamish games, and it should be feats of strengths, North-South. That would be kind of cool. But the neighborhood configurations, the setups, between the North and the South are very similar. Now, one thing in the North is Sahali.
Right.
So Sahali Golf and Country Club, it's hosted several opens, senior opens.
Yep.
Beautiful course. And they have a private community there where it's a gated community. And the homes there were kind of built in the 60s, 50s, 60s?
No, 70s, 80s.
70s, 80s. They look, like
late
50s.
70s. That's relatively new.
Yeah.
So I guess that means Plateau Club is the South Golf Course.
Okay, yeah.
That's 9075.
Plateau Club. That's right, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So, median home price. This one is kind of funny, $975,000.
Right. And I think we talked previously, that's skewed somewhat by the new construction that starts at about 1.2.
Yeah.
So resales, you can start a nice home about $750. You can go under that, but it's a little more basic housing. But new construction about 1.2.
Wow.
So that's really pushing that up.
All right. So south of Sammamish and east of Bellevue is Issaquah. Issaquah is one of the older communities in the area and kind of dates back to coal mining and lumber.
Timber and coal mining.
Yeah.
Yep. In fact, there's coal mining. There's mine tours offered where you can go look at some of the historical sites.
Well, that's cool.
But there's quite a history of mining in the area.
So they call it the Issaquah Alps in the Issaquah area, and you've got what is it? Tiger Mountain, Cougar Mountain, and Squawk Mountain.
Yep.
Not in that order. It's just Tiger, Squawk, Cougar.
The extensive hiking trails within minutes of the city. It's really fabulous.
You sound like an advertisement.
I am. I'm selling this one.
So the median home price in Issaquah is $659,000. You've got Issaquah Highlands, which is some newer construction, newer properties. You've got Talus, and then you've got the Squawk Mountain, and then south of Squawk Mountain and Tiger Mountain, it's more rural. So there is a combination of both types of settings in the Issaquah area.
And then
Newcastle. Wow, we're covering a lot of cities here.
We are.
What do you know about Newcastle?
I think of Newcastle as relatively rural for being as accessible as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of newer homes there, some nice condos there. Newcastle, what's the golf club?
Newcastle Golf Club.
There you go.
Yeah. So one of the things that I kind of break Newcastle into is if you look at the map and you go south of Bellevue and you go west of Issaquah, kind of, and maybe even north of Renton. So those little pockets is this little town, and they've revitalized a town center there recently. They've got a lot of new construction. They've got Newcastle Highlands, which are some higher end homes and a nicer community, and commutable. It's much closer into Bellevue and then Seattle.
Short hop on the I-405.
I-405. Coal Creek Parkway to I-405. Yep. Sound like a traffic guy. All right. And then further south is Renton.
Beautiful downtown Renton.
Downtown Renton.
I think of Renton as its roots in blue collar. So there's a lot of really affordable housing there and a lot of nice newer construction.
Well, and the thing that's really nice about Renton is the Boeing plant is there. So all the 737s get built out of that plant. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them.
Right.
And so that's where that working class came from, because I know Boeing built a lot of housing, corporate housing in that area to build the 30s and the 40s to build the airplanes.
Right.
So you've got a pretty wide space that is considered Renton. So your price per square, or your average median home price in Renton is $495.
$495.
So
heck of a value.
That's definitely a little bit more value, more of a value, more bang for your buck is Renton.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So that concludes our Real Talk for today. If you're interested in this and other topics we've covered in our Real Talk segment, please check out our blog at the eastsiderealestateteam.com/blog. If you'd like to talk with us directly, we welcome your call with any of your real estate questions, concerns. Feel free to contact us at 200-4093. Thanks for listening. Up next, we'll be speaking with Gerald Betton of B3 in Cryolex. Will help us learn more about the power in your hands when it comes to your health and wellness. We'll be right back.
Did you know when you pay rent, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage? Are you tired of missing out on owning your own home? Fact: homeowners on average have 40 times the financial net worth of renters. The Eastside Real Estate Team has been helping many first-time homebuyers find and buy their first home. They specialize in customer service and put you first. They listen first to what you're looking for, and then they take the time to make sure their clients understand every aspect of the home buying process. If owning a home has been your dream, the Eastside Real Estate Team can help you. For a free, no-hassle consultation, call 425-200-4093 or find them online at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Does doing video for your business seem overwhelming? At Flying Gecko Productions, we make it easy to produce your videos. Whether it be video blogs or a video testimonial, we broadcast your best self. Flying Gecko has been putting together compelling videos for over 12 years. Videos that convert prospects to clients. To learn more, contact Greg at Flying Gecko at 206-412-4363 or visit our website at www.flyinggecko.com.
Do you have excess body fat that you wish was gone? Not happy with what you see in the mirror? Or maybe how you feel on the inside? Do you have low energy? Gerald Betton with B3 says that can end today. The decision is yours. Gerald with B3 motivates clients through uplifting spirit and attention to detail. Gerald has a degree in kinesiology and has changed lives all over the world through fitness knowledge and motivation. To learn more about what Gerald with B3 has to offer, call 206-755-2058.
Giving local voices a chance to shine. Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to Real Talk. You're listening to Real Talk. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 KKNW.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan. And our first guest, for the record, is Jarrell Baton.
Sorry,
Baton
Jarrell.
with B3. Jarrell graduated from Ohio State University with a bachelor's degree in kinesiology. While
Wait a
being
minute. From what university?
It's Ohio State University.
Ohio?
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
I thought it was Idaho.
Oh, you're right. The Ohio State. Okay, I get you. I feel you. Idaho State University with a bachelor's degree in kinesiology.
Hey, credit where credit's due, dude.
where he was also a D1 athlete, right? Decathlete. Jarrell owns a personal training company, B3, and is a bodybuilder as well. During his career, he has overcome 7 knee surgeries. Sharing
Whoa.
with us his personal training philosophy is Jarrell Baton. Welcome to the show, Jarrell.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
So when you're not helping people,
You're not having knee surgery.
knee surgery, what are some of your hobbies and interests?
Well, I don't have too much time for other things, but quite a few things that I like to do has to do with kind of more of an artsy side.
Really?
Believe it or not, one of my favorite things, believe it or not, is my wife and I on a road trip. We're blasting the music and we're singing.
Yeah.
Love to sing.
Fun.
Love drawing, art.
Where do you like to road trip?
We go to Oregon a lot. We tend to visit all the local bodybuilding shows, network, meet new people around the area, see who's up and coming. And from there, we were just in Oregon last week, and
Nice.
we went down, and we were actually stopped at a show in Olympia, and then went down to Oregon. We like to see her family. She's down there, and vice versa. We go up north or a little across the mountains to Spokane.
So, suggestion
Sweet.
for you recently, since you went to Idaho State
Mhm.
University, have you been to Montana?
Yeah, we've
'Cause that's
competed
some
at all the
awesome-
Big Sky schools.
So some
yeah.
awesome, that's some awesome road trips up there.
Oh, yeah.
And I just had the random trip this summer to Glacier National Park, and it's just phenomenal. So it's an awesome road trip place.
Cool. So we like to ask our guest about a fond memory in the home you grew up in. What do you got for us?
All right. I grew up in Kirkland, so it's funny hearing you guys talk about the Kirkland
communities.
place. I know it very well. And I lived there since I was 2. And I'd say probably one of my favorite memories in that house was something that kind of a tradition we used to do was we'd come up with just something that we want to eat, right?
Mhm.
And it's always customizable. And we invite friends, family over, and we just go all out and just make as many of that as we can and then feast. And so one of my childhood friends taught me how to make sushi.
Oh, really?
So we'd,
Wow.
we'd make 30 sushi rolls,
Wow.
and, or we would make custom calzones and do that for a night with friends and family over.
Yeah.
That sounds
That's
fun.
awesome. That's awesome. All right. So, what got you into the health and fitness world?
Well, it's a long story.
Well, we've got about
yeah. Yeah. So when I was 15, I happened to actually grow up obese, and I suffered with a little bit of depression and whatnot. And a lot of my friends happened to start getting into talking to girls and stuff, and I had very low self confidence. Wouldn't happen. And I had my first crush. I was 15 years old, and I asked her out, and I got turned down.
Uh-oh.
My whole life turned around, and from that point on, I told myself that I knew that I was a good person, and I knew that it wasn't, what I said or what I did. It was the way that I looked, and so I wanted to change that. And I didn't whine about it. I didn't do anything. I just went straight to the books, straight to the computer, started doing research, how to lose weight, how to exercise, what to do, and I lost 70 pounds in 3 months.
Oh,
And
wow.
I became hooked. It became my entire life, nothing but fitness every single day. And, I'm going into high school. My friends don't recognize me. I randomly gained a little bit of athleticism and started playing. I played sports all my life, but it's different when you're not carrying around a weight vest.
When you're feeling good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, my vertical increased like crazy. I all of a sudden couldn't touch the net to could dunk to, oh my gosh,
Wow.
what's going on? And that kind of just where me and the gym and working out, became one, and started growing up and up and up and up. And then, as I said, I grew up obese, and I went to Idaho State as a decathlete, and was ranked 11th in the nation at one point when I was in Arizona. And it was, a lot of battles and stuff, but fitness and health has gotten me to where I am today for sure.
That's great. So what are some of the struggles you've had with your knee? You mentioned that earlier.
What haven't I struggled with my knee? So I've had 70 surgeries on my left knee. It started in high school with basketball. I was just playing one-on-one in PE with one of my buddies. I landed on his foot and my knee popped.
Ooh, ouch.
And that's how it started, and it wasn't too big of a deal. I healed. I got my surgery, rehab strong, came back stronger. Actually, my first 3 or 4 surgeries, each one I came back stronger and faster and able to jump higher. It was odd. But then as I went on, it started going backwards, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And started, surgery after this. Okay, let's take out more of the meniscus. Okay, now you have no meniscus. Let's go. And then it's a little bit different when you're when you're in school for free, and then track is year round and you're expected so much, but at the same time, like, you want to give it your all. I know how much value it is to have school free, so I would do anything that it took to be able to keep that,
To get back to health so that you can keep competing.
Yeah, to just stay strong. And sometimes, that's what also hindered me, and I'd come back, too fast or too hard or wanting it because I can outwork a lot of people. And it just came to snapping. And then I was at indoor conference in northern Arizona, and I was high jumping, and my leg finally gave, and my knee snapped, and it was a pretty big deal. And I had to be on crutches and a wheelchair for a year.
For a year?
Yeah, 9 months. Yeah,
Jeez.
9 months. I was on a waiting list for a cadaver. So to answer your question,
Knee replacement.
no replacement. I had a transplant.
Oh, wow.
So I actually have a cadaver's knee.
Oh,
And,
wow.
yeah, and there's a lot of complications with that. The doctor said that I'd have disability my whole life, and me in running and me in athletics wouldn't be a thing.
So how long ago was that?
That was 5 years ago now.
5 years ago.
4 years ago, 4.5.
And so from that time moving forward, that was 9 months to heal
9
from
months, yes.
that? Okay.
9
And
months.
what motivated you? What kept you going?
At that time, once again, it was a really hard time in my life. But what's always kept me going is myself. I had doctors telling me, this and that. You know, you have outside sources, your mom telling you this, you know, but I wasn't going to let any of that happen. You know, I'm too young. I've worked too hard to achieve the things that I have. And I went to work 5 days after my transplant.
Oh, wow.
I took my pills, dumped them down the toilet. One of my best friends moved here to help me. He moved here back with me from Idaho to help me because I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything. And he took me to the gym. We went to the gym every single day, 5 days after my surgery.
Jeez.
Wow.
And I just started working upper body. We would come up with exercises. I graduated with a kinesiology degree. I learned a couple things.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Also,
Yeah. And so we're coming up with exercises when I'm sitting on a bench. We're balancing my leg up on this, you know, doing all kinds of things. And slowly I started healing, you know, really, really fast. And I mean, to this date, you know, fast forward, I've achieved every single thing that the doctors claimed that I would never. You know, I've hit the weights I've wanted to lift. At 250 pounds, I've even done a standing backflip on the ground.
Like now?
Yeah, I'm 250 pounds right now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
a lot of
That is
inertia
fantastic.
there.
So bodybuilding.
Yeah,
and-
why bodybuilding now?
Bodybuilding now because I guess, as I told you, when my fitness journey started with me just wanting to lose weight at first. Then that happened. Then I became an athlete and I wanted to be the best athlete. So actually, most of my years when I've been in the gym working out every day has not been to necessarily grow muscle, even though you do grow. I've been training to be a better athlete. I want to be faster. I want to be stronger, you know, than my opponents. I want to jump higher. All those things to help me with, you know, with my sport as a decathlete. You got to be well-rounded. You can't just have speed. You got to have endurance. You got to, you know, be all over the place. And once that kind of got taken away from me, there's no way. Like, you can't take an athlete out of an athlete, you know.
Yeah.
It's, what can I push for? What can I do?
Yeah.
You know, I can lift weights comfortably and never get hurt ever. Let me just focus onto this as hard as I have in other things and see where it can take me. And I've fallen in love with it. You know, my wife's a professional bodybuilder, so that helps, you know, motivate you a little bit, you know, to try and catch up to that level.
Right.
But, you know, I feel like I'm pretty close. And if I keep working at it, you know, I'm thinking this 2020 year is going to be the year that I turn pro and continue on with bodybuilding.
So you have this business, B3.
Correct.
And B3 is where you help others kind of take what you've learned and become more fit, more competitive. Tell me a little bit more about the philosophy there.
So B3 stands for Build Better Bodies. We created that and believe in that because that's what it takes. You have to build what it is that you want with your physique. You know, you can take whatever magic pill you think is going to do what. If you don't eat correctly, if you don't train correctly and know how to do it, you're not going to build the way that you want. And that's why it's so important. So we take our training and it's different because we're knowledge based, you know, experience based, not just what a book says or this, and spent so many years seeing what works for us, you know, what works for others, you know, with training and to get, you know, to get other people where they want, all ages. You know, we have 70-year-olds. You know, I've worked with second graders. It doesn't matter. Everyone has their own spot.
Awesome.
So you specialize in teaching mind-body connection while training. What is that?
So how I like to explain it is from an outsider's perspective. As a personal trainer, right, you can correct form, right? You can say, your knees are tracking forward. Let's push the glutes back, right? But what you can't see is what muscles are dominating the lift. And I actually like to use like a lat pull down as a good example. If from an outsider's perspective, you know, your chest could be elevated, you can be pulling, right? And then someone will be done with the set and you're like, oh, my biceps are killing me. And it's like, well, your biceps should be your secondary movers, not your lats. But it looked perfect, right?
Right.
So it's, you know, it's hitting the muscles. It's telling people where to pull from, what to contract, and how to, you know, get them and set up in correct body positions to, therefore you are using your bis very, very minimal, and therefore you're pulling from your lats the muscle that you want to, which is the big, you know, the big muscle that you want to try and grow.
Yeah. So when you think about it, you go to a gym, right? There's all the equipment, whether you do free weights or you do a system, whatever it is, you have no idea what kind of feedback you should be getting. And that's the benefit of having somebody like yourself who's experienced it, who can then also say, tell me what you're feeling.
Yeah.
And then put that mental feel. You know, I do CrossFit. I enjoy it. And I was a choir geek in high school, not an athlete, not something that I did. But one of the things that I've found when you get to high intensity and weight training, there's more mental game.
Oh, for sure.
More mental
Oh,
game
yeah.
than just going out there and lifting something heavy.
Yep.
And it keeps me sharp, and it's something. I mean, Monday we had a great workout, and I came home and got ready and left, and I hadn't even had a cup of coffee. I mean, I got up at like 5 a.m. to go work out, and it was like 9:30 before I was like, oh, maybe I should have a cup of coffee. And I think that's because of the firing of the the brain and the synapses and the endorphins you get from working out. It's a great. I mean, that mental aspect is it's you shouldn't overlook it, because especially in a demanding job, demanding position, you need to be able to be at your best mentally, and the exercise brings that balance
and the energy with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So who would be your ideal client?
My ideal client. I'm glad you asked this, because a lot of people think that I only work with bodybuilders. I mean, people see my Instagram and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, like you only work with intense athletes or something." That's not true at all. Probably the category that I have most worked with when it comes to clients is probably older women between 45 to 70.
Mm-hmm.
And I've worked with a basketball club training second and third graders up through high school, of all, boys and girls, each individual team, select teams. And my ideal client is anyone that wants to change their life and put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hardest part, is anyone can say that they want something, but it's different to be told something and actually do it.
Oh, that's great. How do our listeners get a hold of you?
Instagram, my phone, Jarrell_Baton, and then my phone number is 206-755-2058, and you can DM me, text me, call me anytime, and we can talk.
Awesome.
Thank
you for coming in, Jarrell. Thanks for sharing your story. We appreciate it.
Of course.
All right. After the break, we're going to have Greg Summers-Harrell of Flying Gecko Productions, and Greg's going to be talking about Flying Gecko Productions and how it helps broadcast your passion. Please come back and see us after the break.
Not sure if now is the right time to sell? Worried you missed the market? The Eastside Real Estate Team specializes in helping homeowners maximize their equity when selling. With our proven premier listing service, our clients have sold their homes for more money in less time than the competition. We know you have many choices when working with a real estate agent, but with the Eastside Real Estate Team, you get a team of highly qualified, experienced agents. From staging to deciding if your property is market ready for top dollar. If you're considering selling, call the Eastside Real Estate Team at 425-200-4093. Or check out our website at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Does doing video for your business seem overwhelming? At Flying Gecko Productions, we make it easy to produce your videos. Whether it be video blogs or a video testimonial, we broadcast your best self. Flying Gecko has been putting together compelling videos for over 12 years. Videos that convert prospects to clients. To learn more, contact Greg at Flying Gecko at 206-412-4363 or visit our website at www.flyinggecko.com.
Do you have excess body fat that you wish was gone? Not happy with what you see in the mirror? Or maybe how you feel on the inside? Do you have low energy? Gerald Benton with B3 says that can end today. The decision is yours. Gerald with B3 motivates clients through uplifting spirit and attention to detail. Gerald has a degree in kinesiology and has changed lives all over the world through fitness knowledge and motivation. To learn more about what Gerald with B3 has to offer, call 206-755-2058.
Get inspired every hour right here on Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan.
Our next guest is Greg Summers-Harrell with Flying Gecko Productions. Hailing out of Seattle, Greg combines his background in science and film to create a unique perspective in his productions. He has been producing and directing projects since 2003. His most recent production, Divine Shadow, a 14-episode web series, has won several awards, including Best Director, Best Web Series. Greg recently joined the Japanese Memorial Pilgrimages in 2018 and has been to several pilgrimages to 8 of the 10 WRA incarceration sites in the past 2 years. He feels truly inspired by the experiences and stories that have been shared, and fortunate to be part of filming such an important project. Greg is passionate about empowering others. This can be seen in his filmmaking on and off screen, as well as his other pursuits. When he is not filming, he teaches traditional Heihachi Shito Ryu karate at the Northwest School of Karate. He uses this discipline to serve those who have experienced domestic abuse or sexual assault. Let's welcome Greg to the show. So, Greg,
yes.
Tell us, what do you do when you're not doing all that other stuff? You have time for hobbies?
No, not really.
You don't, yeah?
Yeah, well, I feel blessed that my hobbies are my jobs, basically.
Right on.
It's, I watch science fiction all the time because I like to watch movies, and so I get to produce those things. And
there you go. What do they say? Find something you love to do for a living and never work a day in your life.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we got 2 people like that in here today. Well, 4, right?
4.
Brian and I both.
That's right.
And I think that's overwhelming. But then let's change that question a little
Sure.
bit. And when you're not doing those things, are there places you like to visit around Seattle?
I generally, when I'm going out, I like to just go to a nice restaurant, and I like to experiment
There
when
you
I
go.
have the opportunity, especially sushi, because honestly, I feel that Seattle sushi sometimes is wanting, so I'm always on the
Trying
scout.
to on the hunt.
So where's your fave?
On the,
What's your top of your list now?
there isn't one right now. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
So there's
that
a
was
challenge.
weird.
There's a throwdown, Seattle.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Sushi,
We usually go up to Vancouver.
Sushi in Issaquah.
I have not been there.
It's a
I'll try it.
little strip mall, mom and pop place. Real wasabi, the real deal.
Oh.
It's the only place I found that doesn't
Sushi.
serve fake wasabi.
Sushi with a Z?
Sushi, but with a Z.
Okay, I'm going to
Yeah.
try that. Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
give it a
that's-
shot.
Yeah. We're always trying to find something that we can really.
Brought to you by Z Sushi.
That was not planned.
That was
No,
not.
give it a shot. I just love the real deal wasabi
Yeah.
instead of the fake stuff.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So also, because this is a real estate related show, we like
Sure.
to ask our guests about the home they grew up in. It's a fond memory. We got the holidays coming around the corner. Got any fond memories you can share with us?
Fond memories. So I grew up in Spokane Valley. And I think probably what I really enjoyed about that is next to our house, there was this kind of alleyway that was just overgrown with like tumbleweeds and things like that. And so I'd always go out there and like make these tumbleweed forts,
Oh,
Funny.
and I don't know, as a kid, I just loved doing that. Like, I'd hide in there like no one can see me.
yeah. That's good. That's funny.
So-
Tumbleweed forts.
Yeah. So that was kind of my thing. I love to do stuff like that.
That's awesome.
So what is Flying Gecko Productions?
Flying Gecko Productions is a full-service production house. So basically, if you have an idea for a video, we can make it happen. If you need script writing, basically from beginning to end, we can do the whole thing. Script writing, pre-production, production, post, and then all the editing and post.
Okay. So give me a scope of the projects that you can do.
So probably, I guess, our smallest would
Mhm.
be, we have what's called Video by the Hour. So basically, it's for people to do video blogs who don't want to do it themselves,
Gotcha.
because that can be kind of a pain. Not
Mhm.
everyone wants to learn the technical aspects of it. So we just go in for an hour, set up, bang out, 3 or 4.
Mhm.
Kind of depends on the person. I have a personal organizer who can do like 16 in an hour. It's amazing.
Mhm.
She's a machine.
So you have a studio?
Usually I do it on site.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So on site, you set up a thing, take an hour,
yeah.
cut a bunch of stuff, and then the production company also edits that and
Yeah,
produces
so
it?
usually, for a video blog, we're not really doing a lot of editing. It's really just kind of chopping off the ends, and
Okay.
then we put in some graphics and whatnot to make it branded.
Okay.
And then just throw that up. So
And
that's the small end.
What's the other end?
On the other end, so you mentioned before, Divine Shadow, that's a web series we produced.
Mhm.
It's 14 episodes. Each episode's about 12 minutes long. So that took us 6 months of production.
Hmm.
It was an amazing project. I think we had over 150 people involved in that project. So
How can somebody find that?
they can find it on, if they go to divineshadowseries.com,
Okay.
That'll lead them to
I've got to look
where
at
it's
that.
being hosted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it combines all my loves, right? It's a martial arts drama. You know,
Awesome.
a teen girl mysteriously develops superhuman strength while protecting her sister, and then finds herself imperiled in a secret battle of good versus evil.
Nice.
Yeah,
There you go.
she got her black belt 6 months before we started filming, so
Oh.
the fight scenes are pretty sweet.
Pretty good. Cool. Awesome. So why does a business owner need video?
Well, it's the 21st century,
Good
so
point. Yeah.
you know,
Obvious question.
you know,
Yeah.
clay tablets don't work anymore to get your
No,
message out
yeah.
there. So we all got to be doing video. I'm fortunate that's what I do. I can just slap a bunch of videos on my site that I've done, and I'm good to go. But everyone needs to put something up.
What is the most common?
The most common are either the video blog or the video testimonial.
Oh, okay.
And I think both of those are valuable and have their own piece of importance, right? The testimonial tells people what it's like, what the experience is to, say, work with Dan, right? This is what it's like to work with Dan through the eyes of people who worked with you. So you don't have to sit there and go, I'm awesome, right?
Right.
Yeah, good
I
point.
mean, I
there,
do
huh?
that, but yeah.
But, you know, you have other people saying, you know, that you're awesome and why.
Mm-hmm.
So they tell the why. The video blogs, on the other hand, that gives you a chance not only to share your expertise, but to share your personality.
Mm-hmm.
Because that, with the advent of social media and all that coming out, it's no longer this, here's my professional face and here's my personal face. They've kind of merged.
Interesting.
And
Well,
so,
people do business with people that they know and like.
right.
Right,
No like and
and
trust, and this builds
Know,
up.
like, and trust. Thank you. Yeah, and I think that when you look at a video profile, the technology where we've come to, you know, at one point it was like it's got to be high production, it's got to look professional. Now I think it's got to look authentic.
Like real.
Right.
Authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So, what are 3 tips for individuals that are thinking of getting started with video for their business?
So 3 tips, and usually I think of this in terms of doing your own, like doing a video blog or whatnot. So the first thing is people think they can wing it, and many people can, because you're talking about what you know.
Yeah.
You're like, I can just totally wing this. The problem is the second you get in front of that camera, you're now visualizing
That.
a million people watching you.
Yeah.
And your message is gone, right? So it's always good to start with a script. It doesn't have to be complicated, something simple. Video blogs don't need to be more than like a minute or 2.
Right.
You know, and then start with the script and practice. Practice. You guys mentioned at the beginning of the show, smile when you talk, right?
Right.
If you practice, then you can start to do these
Right.
things, like put in the smile, put in the happy face. Think about talking to that one person that you're always excited to talk to, right?
Yeah.
When you're presenting. And that way that'll come in when you're recording your blog.
Yeah. So I always recommend to businesses, individuals that are in business like this that want to do that, is to find a Toastmasters group. That's a public speaking. It's an international organization. It's going to give you screen time or stage time. And essentially it takes that time on task over time to get comfortable, because
Right.
it's different. You flip on the switch and
Yeah.
wow.
Your brain shuts down.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I do video blogs, I have a small series on how to feel comfortable in front of camera. I had a producer come in just to work with me so that I wouldn't have to sit there and try to think of all this on my own and present just on my own.
And sometimes it's authentic to fail forward. I mean, we don't do this show perfect all the time. I know people might think that on other things.
Oh, yeah.
So
Always.
So what makes a captivating or compelling video?
I would say the number one thing is passion.
Hmm.
People want to know why you do what you do, right? And if they understand your why and connect with it, a lot of people, I think they want to be like, I can work with anybody and everybody. And it's true, but there's still an optimum. And what that's going to be is personality,
yeah,
right? I mean, we all know there's a lot of realtors out there.
there's a few. There's a few.
Right? So why are they going to choose to work with you? And it's like, okay, well, hey, I do CrossFit too, so we can, nerd out while we're
Nerd
looking
out,
at houses,
yeah.
right? Whatever it is, whatever small detail it is, that personal connection.
Yeah.
So if you can tell them the passion and you can tell them the why, they're going to want to work with you.
So how does your process work?
How's my process work? So usually we do an intake where we just get together. We talk about, what are you trying to accomplish with the video? I ask you some questions about, who's your audience and similar questions we're asking here, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to drill down to what is that fundamental why that we want to put into this video.
Excellent.
So what differentiates Flying Gecko? How do you stand out from the competition?
Yeah, I always struggle with that question, and that's because I have a lot of colleagues I have a lot of respect for, and I feel like we're all just a little bit different, but I think we're all qualified.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's always been a very difficult question for me. But I would say what the feedback I've received from people that I've worked with is where I really come in strong is being able to help people feel relaxed and comfortable in front of camera so they can open up, especially for things like testimonials and interviews.
Share that passion.
Yeah, they can get to that emotional space instead of like, there's a camera and I'm scared.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one of the things we have some time here, and I wanted to dig into this as a separate topic, but you had mentioned that you recently joined the Japanese Memorial Pilgrimages.
Yes.
So why did you do that? Why is it important to you?
Such a great question.
And you're basically creating video content for the journeys? Is that?
Yeah, so basically my producer, she and a friend of hers founded this Japanese American Memorial Pilgrimages. So not everyone knows that in World War II, Japanese Americans on the West Coast were basically shipped and incarcerated into these camps. Lost everything, most of them.
Right.
Some of them did not. So it's a very important part of our history that needs to be shared. And they're still alive to share the stories. So while they're still alive, we
document it while you can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there were some great stories. Some are really dark, and one gentleman that we encountered at Jerome Roar in Arkansas, he didn't remember this until he went to the pilgrimage. And this is why we do it at the pilgrimage, because it sparks memories. He was like telling us a story where he stumbled across someone who had committed suicide.
Oh,
right?
wow.
I mean, that's, of course, the dark side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another one of this kid, he was 5 when he was in the camp. And, they had guard towers and everything, and it's the middle of the night, and he has to go to the bathroom. So he comes out of his barracks, and he starts running over there, and the spotlight shines on him.
Jeez.
And he, looks up, and he sees him, and he thinks they're lighting his way. So he, waves and smiles. He's like, oh, good. And he just saunters on to the bathroom, right? Because he's 5. He doesn't know. Yeah. So, I think it's important to catch the whole story because, there's dark parts of it, there's positive parts of it, and the people there, I mean, even now, the majority of them, at least the ones we meet on the pilgrimage, tend to be very, very optimistic and grateful for everything they have. It didn't break them.
Wow.
And their family, especially their grandchildren, are now in this curious state of what happened? Why did this happen? How do we make sure this doesn't happen again? And it's amazing when you get the grandparents and the grandkids. You can't say no to your grandkids, right? So they start telling all the stories in front of them.
Right.
I recently heard that the Puyallup Fairgrounds were a staging point.
Yes, that was an
never
assembly
heard that
area.
before. Yeah. Wow.
Interesting.
So it's here.
It was a big thing.
something.
Bainbridge was the first place where they got shipped.
Now, isn't there a museum in Seattle, the Psy, that has artifacts and tells a lot of the story?
I believe so.
Yeah. I think there is. Yeah. Interesting.
So, lastly,
Yes.
Divine Shadows. You're working on season 2, is that right?
Yes, we're writing season 2. We're looking for funding. It's been an amazing journey doing that show. Just the cast are super amazing to work with. I mean, we put season 1 together on a wing and a prayer. I basically told everyone, no, we're not doing a pilot. We're doing a whole series. We have no money. So, here's your gas money. Thank you so much for helping us out. And everyone just, they stepped up, and it's, we've got a great director of photography who was like, yeah, let's do this, and some beautiful shots. And like I said, the fight scenes they're just a lot of fun to watch.
Cool.
Ray,
Take a look at that.
she's just brilliant. She was 17, I think, when we cast her, and just got her black belt 6 months before we started shooting. So she's
Nice.
in it.
So tell our listeners how they can reach you.
You can reach me phone 206-412-4363 or through my website, www.flyinggecko.com. And that's Flying Gecko with 1 G in the middle.
Got it. Thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Remember that this and other segments of our show are available to watch at your YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Eastside Real Estate Team. If you're interested in learning more from these or future guests, join us after the break for some final thoughts and something fun to do this holiday. We'll be right back.
Did you know when you pay rent, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage? Are you tired of missing out on owning your own home? Fact: homeowners on average have 40 times the financial net worth of renters. The Eastside Real Estate Team has been helping many first-time home buyers find and buy their first home. They specialize in customer service and put you first. They listen first to what you're looking for, and then they take the time to make sure their clients understand every aspect of the home buying process. If owning a home has been your dream, the Eastside Real Estate Team can help you. For a free, no-hassle consultation, call 425-200-4093 or find them online at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Feeling disorganized? Do you have trouble finding things in your home or feel overwhelmed when you open a drawer in the kitchen? Does your house add unnecessary stress to your already busy life? If the answer is yes to any of these questions, the professional organizers from Born to Organize would love to help. Born to Organize specializes in general home organizing, downsizing, home sale preparation, and move-in assistance. Unlike other organizing businesses, we also have a full-time licensed carpenter to assist with larger system installations and handyman projects. In as little as one visit, Born to Organize can help eliminate stress and anxiety in your life by utilizing an individualized approach with each client that includes decluttering and creation of simple systems within your home. Born to Organize serves Snohomish County, King County, and is available to travel throughout the United States on a per-project basis. Jamie Bourne and her team of organizers are simplification experts and love nothing more than making a house feel like a home. Please visit our website at BOURNE2ORGANIZE.com. You can also call us at 650-274-4308 or email Jamie at bourne2organize@gmail.com.
Real people, real life, real radio. Alternative Talk 1150.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Real Talk on 1150 KKNW. Now, I'm no meteorologist, but it looks like it's going to be a really nice sunset here.
Gorgeous out there.
The sun is about to go down. There's some super wispy clouds. We've got a really cool studio spot.
We do.
I think that's why our show today was so good. Two
go.
great guests and a fantastic view. You can't beat it. Well, we have some final thoughts. Brian, what do you got?
You know, I'm just thinking about our segment where we talked about the cities on the east side. That's such a high-level survey.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say there's so much more that we welcome your calls to talk about this in depth. And really, one of the things that Dan and I love to do with a new client starting to look for a home is sit down and have a face-to-face interview where we really go into some depth about what you want. How do we help you achieve your real estate goals? And so we welcome the opportunity to have that conversation and talk about what would really help you fulfill your dream of home ownership.
Yeah, we covered a pretty big area in 15 minutes.
Oh, gosh,
yeah.
yeah.
Very high
There's so
level.
much more depth. There's so much more local stuff available.
And like Brian always says, it's always a good time to buy, right?
Oh, it's a great time to buy. Rates are down. So I've got a shout out today for a listener in beautiful San Francisco. Nathan, hope you're having a good day, bud.
Well, hope it gets better.
Hope it gets better. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I don't know if it's bad. I just wanted to say shout out to Nathan.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a awesome event that's kicking off here in the middle of November as the holidays are right around the corner. You may want to get the kids out to see Dasher and Blitzen at Swanson's Holiday Nursery, the Reindeer Festival. And I think they do a Reindeer Festival in Issaquah as well.
They do.
So this one here is, it's going to be mid-November through December 24th. Santa workshop, all kinds of fun things. You get to meet the reindeer, presentations, and it's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Reindeer
selfie.
Yeah,
there you
that'll
go.
be fun.
I want that.
So for more information, go to swansonnursery.com or go to Cougar Mountain
The zoo.
Cougar Mountain Zoo.
Issaquah Zoo.
Both of them have reindeer. Maybe they're the backup and the A team. Who knows? I don't know.
I'll go
Different
find out.
reindeers. All right. That concludes our show this week.
I want to especially thank our guests, Gerald and Greg, for taking the time to speak with us. It was a great show. Thank you all for listening. Before we go, Dan found this quote.
Yes, my family is full of readers. So a house or a home without books is a body without a soul. That's by Marcus Tullius Cicero.
Cicero.
Cicero? Thanks for listening.